question Glenn Boreham fails to answer is, what right does IBM have to propose to put a spy chip into Australian citizens' vehicles without their consultation and consent? Moving along, what else does IBM propose? Let's add a global identity system into the mix. Cal Slimp, the Vice President and Global Leader for Security and Privacy, stated that international standards, backed up by a UN body, are needed to clear up the international identity verification mess. IBM's secure identity solutions offer organizations a wide range of advanced identity verification solutions. Capabilities include the use of smart cards, biometrics, RFID, identity management, and security systems. Slimp goes on to say, IBM is trying to create a mosaic for what countries want as good identity management. Wider international cooperation is needed to establish a common language and standards. It is interesting to find out that the common language for exchanging user access information is also known as Federated I-AM. This is an interesting choice of terminology, at the very least. Cal Slimp went on to more grandiose statements to say, what's missing right now is a trusted third party to authenticate trustworthiness. That's rich. IBM has denied their involvement with the Hitler regime. They've denied selling census data to the Nazis, and they now self-appoint their company to be the World Identity Sentinel. Pass and double pass. As we stand on the cusp of the Orwellian Dark Age, we need to realize that Verichip is not static technology. When the Verichip was first released, it was a crude RFID solution that posed no threat to civil liberties and humanity. But as the evolution of the Verichip continues, some red flags have been raised. Scott Silverman goes on to gloat, as we continue to build on our partnership with receptors, which started with the development of the glucose-sensing RFID implantable microchip, for diabetics to have the ability to measure glucose levels in their body through an external scanner. We are moving beyond patient identification to sensors that can detect and identify illnesses, viruses such as swine flu and other emerging diseases. This is an exciting next step for the future of our healthcare division. This is a concerning development in the Verichip product evolution. First, it opens the titanic diabetic market, and second, the uptake by this sector could be high in providing Verichip the necessary cash flow to penetrate new markets. As we have already documented, the shady and questionable FDA approval Verichip has obtained. This makes the swine flu pathogen sensor microchip an alarming progression. Sweetheart deals could be struck with the World Health Organization and governments worldwide for Verichip to become the swine flu solution when the media hysteria promotes the pandemic. Keep in mind, Verichip has gone on record to say that the implantable microchip could be worth a whopping $100 billion in revenue, comprising of 26 vertical markets. That sort of revenue by any company's standards is stupendous and would require a great part of the world's population to be chipped. If you thought the unholy alliance of IBM and Verichip could not get any worse, it does. Guess which company manufactures the Verichip? A little company known as Raytheon. This is the 5th largest defense contractor in the world, and the world's largest producer of guided missiles, best known for its Tomahawk missile. And looking over in Seoul, Korea, we find IBM's ubiquitous computing lab, the Sensor and Actuator RFID Solution Center. The Seoul Center specializes in sensor and actuator RFID enablement, working with clients to deploy IBM sensor and actuator RFID solutions. The center's capabilities include sensors that can detect patterns by using multiple streams of sensor data for automatic analysis of human behavior and habits, including who you are, where you are, what you are doing, and predicting your next action through data correlation. This is what we have to look forward to. We will deal with this in more depth in our next film, including why IBM is building the global brain and tackling the modern-day eugenics movement, transhumanism. But imagine for now an Internet of Things, where every object from cans of Coke to jumbo jets to human beings are uniquely identified via their EPC, electronic product code. And remember the tattoo that began as an IBM number? Well, now they want to put the tattoo under your skin. A unique number that is the barcode on steroids. An interconnected, ubiquitous computing, electro-meshed, real-time web, where billions of objects are tracked simultaneously, all through an evolving internet protocol and an ambient intelligence environment. An environment that reacts to you, as it is aware of your movements, through sensors, portals, wired and wireless networks. These objects Humans are tracked from birth with history, data files created on them as they progress through their entire period of existence. A goldfish in a fishbowl has more rights than we do in this controlled system that we have explored.
When you ask IBM, as many people have, why they did it, the information company says, we have no information. We've lost it all. They should take a cue from their Nazi clients, apologize for what they've done, and move on. But by stonewalling history, they have linked themselves inexorably to the crimes of their Nazi customers committed decades ago. Will IBM ever be brought to justice? The answer is no. The fact is that many people have sued IBM around the world. They were never called to account during the Holocaust, never called to account after the Holocaust, and they will not be called to account today. They are indeed bigger than nations, bigger than genocides, bigger than the justice system itself. It was IBM that both calculated the weather for the Normandy invasion, for the United States and Allied forces, and the strength of the German defenses for the German High Command. And remember who organized all of the evidence for the Nuremberg trials. That company was called IBM. Now maybe you're willing to vouch for the American government. Are you willing to vouch for the Chinese government? Are you willing to vouch for the Saudi government? Are you willing to vouch for the North Korean government? For the Thai government? Are you willing to entrust this enormous technology without restriction, without the type of restriction that is guaranteed to keep us alive? Because this is the final frontier of human tracking. And the most vulnerable will be targeted first. The people with the least power, with the least money, with the most physical disabilities, with the most racially vulnerable aspects. We have a potential here to see the Hitler program at warp speed.
Today perhaps marks the first day you have been introduced to the human implantable technology. Perhaps you have been aware of it, but pushed it quietly to the background. Rest assured, this is a collective war we are fighting, and although it is not being fought with guns and ammunition, it is being waged on your mind, and your free will is at stake. So put down your credit cards and remotes, form rank, and dig deep with us. Petition your local members in government. Network. Share. Use the resources on the website, and let's march forward as a collective, united group that can and will stop this encroaching agenda. You are not an animal that needs to be branded. You are not a product that needs to be identified. You are not a number. Send a strong and united message to Verichip, IBM, Raytheon, and all the other companies that wish to enslave you and your family, that we the people will not be chipped.